Oh.
In real life, it is the hare who wins. Every time. Look around you, and in the case, it is my contention, and in any case, it is my contention that Aesop was writing for the tortoise market. Hares have no time to read. They are too busy winning the game. Welcome, Pirate Council. May our tall tales please you. We return to the realm of Prismeer, where the players find themselves in the big stump, a giant felled tree, atop which a small throne has been built, and a small campsite for Haragon brigands. The party found themselves here after an encounter with their leader, Aegon Longscarf. But as he has invited them into his home, the rule of hospitality is in play, and he treats them like guests, pouring them. Well, he doesn't pour them tea. He has people for that. As he lounges back, his blue scarf trailing on the floor, his branded poker of 3 hares, nose to tail in a triangle, kind of dangling lazily by his side. He has his feet up, just lounging languorously as his servants come and bring you small delicacies and small pots of tea as he entertains his guests.
Hell yeah.
What are each of you doing as our cocky friend plays host to the crew of La Floridita?
I'm admiring his trinkets while sipping on my tea.
Yeah, so you have a look. You have a glance around. These are all very basic, like more baubles than particularly anything exciting or worth value. It looks like the kind of trade that this hare does would not hold up to any thieves guild or pirate council valuations.
Right. He wouldn't need to be on the Fortune 500 of the thieves. Yeah, okay, cool.
I believe Yama was grilling him about what was in the tea, so he's probably sipping. I don't know if he's maybe trying to barter for a little bag that he can take with him, maybe. And yeah, just enjoying.
Yeah, so he says, oh, well, we have a lot of acorns left over after we cut this tree down. The former patron of this domain, they made this tree grow very, very large, which was an inconvenience to me as I was nailed to it at the time. So we cut it down, and we have a lot of acorn seeds to spare, and that kind of keeps our tea business going. It's mostly just for internals, though. We don't really share with the outside world. We kind of take what we want. We have a little dispensation around the rules around here.
So is this trade of yours what landed you in this hot water, tying you to a tree?
No. Well, I was rude to someone perhaps I shouldn't have been rude to. Turns out the previous owner of this domain wasn't super jazzed about stealing, hence the whole... I mean, you guys know the rule of 3 here, right?
I mean, it's always good to hear it again, though.
Well, there's the rule of hospitality, the rule of ownership, and the rule of reciprocity. And I maybe ran up against the rule of ownership a couple of times, which they weren't super jazzed about. But this place is under new management. I've got a new bot. Like I get like a pass. For reasons I'm sure you're aware, I can't go into in too much detail. NDAs and the like. But yeah, now I can take whatever I want.
And who would this where would we find this management of yours?
Well, I deal with Mistress Slackjaw.
What do you mean? What's Mistress Slackjaw all about? How would you describe Mistress Slackjaw?
Well, she's look, I don't want to say a bad thing about her, but she's not easy on the eyes. But you know, when it's your boss, you can't complain too much. They let you make a living. She kind of considers everything within this realm, within these swamps, to be hers. So we're not really stealing it. We're kind of just getting it back.
Yeah. And where would you where would we find her if we wanted to work with her?
Well, I think she spends a lot of her time in Downfall. She's more at home in the sort of the deeper parts of the swamp. The spending time with the bullywugs. She's got a whole balloon set up out there. I try not to go. I send runners to drop things off occasionally. She kind of gets a pick. She gets to pick and choose out of the things we take. But other than that, it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. And that was Mistress Slackjaw, you said?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, interesting. We were actually thinking of heading to Downfall.
Yes, the name has come up for us before.
Yeah, but then we ran into you guys, and all that happened out there. That was, but we're friends now, so that's good.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Where did you get your cool scarf from?
Oh, it's forged from lightning bolts that I stole from a storm cloud.
Oh, and I pull out my slippers. Say something like these?
He looks at them and says, "Oh, of course, the rule of reciprocity. I've given you information. You're offering me these shoes."
Oh, they won't fit you. That's the thing.
So you're denying the rule?
Oh, no, I'll give you something else. That's fine. I'm happy to give you something. But these shoes, they only fit me for some reason.
Of course.
It's kind of weird, yeah.
Yeah, I have abnormally large feet. For a manling like yourself.
Yeah. Well, 15 feet, you know? Insane.
Yeah, I heard that drow do foot bindings or something to keep them so small. It's barbaric, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ow. Them drow women. I'm sure you know, or I'm sure you've heard. Anyway, moving on. Well, would you like? I'll think on it. Before we leave, I'll have something to give to you.
Sounds great. Yeah, you definitely take it from someone who's brushed up against the rules in the past. You certainly don't want to cross them.
Yeah. Well, I'll quite like this tea that you've given us. One last question. Would you be able to do you know how to navigate these swamps? Like, how would we get to Downfall? Like, once we get down in the thick of it, it's kind of hard to navigate.
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of just got to go and then make sure you're going in the right direction.
Yeah. That's fair. And I point off in a direction. I say, would you say Downfall's that way?
No.
Oh. That way, then.
Sure.
Just give me something, man. Just give me something.
But of course, Your Majesty, you'll be looking to go entreat with the King of the Bullywugs, I assume.
Well, I assume his domain is within the realm of Mistress Slackjaw?
Yeah, she has a cottage kind of in his dominion, but he rules around that. But we all kind of we're part of her domain, so we everyone to a certain extent has to follow her rules.
So she owns fealty to the king, or the other way around?
Oh, no,
Or they tolerate each other?
Everyone owes fealty to Mistress Slackjaw.
Oh,
She is as good as God in this domain.
well, would you advise we go to the king first, or do you think we need to approach Mistress Slackjaw? We are looking for something here, and some information would be nice about the surrounds and such.
Sure. Well, I mean, it can't hurt to go speak with the king. He's the one that sort of gives all the commands to the bullywogs. They're all loyal to him, or at least mostly. I think he's only just ascended the throne, though. I think it was a bloody coup. So when I say they're all loyal to him, I mean all the ones that are left.
Could change at any moment.
They're a fickle bunch. He just doesn't have an iron grip on his gang like I do.
Yeah, so how long have you ruled here?
Time works a little bit differently here. We don't really bother to keep track.
Well, fair enough. Well, I do really appreciate your hospitality. Yama just slides. Like, I have some other tea from other places.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, let me find it. Yeah, so I have some really cool. Okay, so he pulls out this very like aromatic tea. It looks very textural. And he just kind of like offers it to him, and this is a fine raptor tea from Zaru Port City. Quite different from what you're used to. I'm not sure if you would be interested, but I very much appreciate your information.
Oh, wow. And he kind of
I would
takes
love to leave you with this.
He takes the small pouch that you've given him, I assume with a small bag, and sniffs it, and you can see his little foot tapping on the ground as he sniffs it up. And he's like, "Whoa, that's the spices. Oh, that's a flavor you definitely don't get around here very often." Of course. And he motions to one of the servants who brings out a bag of the acorn tea to you.
Fantastic trade. Cool. Acorn tea. Writing it down. Well, is there any other information? Maybe some waypoints along the way so that we don't get lost?
Potentially. I mean, the swamps aren't really great for markers. You know what I mean? The tides go up and down. The water levels go up and down. Sure, I can point you in a general direction, but I'd be hesitant to send any of my own out that way. We don't necessarily have skirmishes with the bullywogs, but when things go missing around there, they have the audacity to think it was us. And I really think that, I mean, they're right, but I really think that they should at least have some evidence first. And it's led to a couple of small altercations.
Okay, fair enough. So if we find the bullywogs, we know we're on the right direction.
Yeah. And I mean, around this time of year, you might even find the Wandering Inn. Beyond the last stump, you might find the Wandering Inn. So, I mean, if you find that, you're probably going in the right direction. Mm-hmm. I think there's at least one well between here and there as well. But there's wells all over, so that's probably not super helpful.
Okay. Well, awesome. What do you think, team?
Yeah, I'm cool with whatever.
Ready to head to Downfall?
Let's go for it. I'm all for it.
I think that's what we should be doing. Yeah.
Well, Yama reaches out a hand to shake his hand.
Does Yama have any obvious knickknacks or shiny things on his person that are
Yeah,
easily seen?
I would say that as he pulled out his tea to offer to him, that maybe like he caught a flash of his tea set
Mm-hmm.
is probably pretty shiny. He's got a knife on him. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a musket on his back, which is
Yeah,
probably pretty rusty actually.
yeah. Cool. Just wondering.
Okay. My passive perception's pretty good.
No, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Well, we're heading off in the direction of downfall. I do hope to see you again, my friend. I very much appreciate the tea.
You're very welcome. I wish you all the best in whatever it is you're doing here, and certainly don't be strangers. Come back, visit anytime. Leave any valuables behind, and before you head back home.
Mm-hmm. Well, as we walk out, I'm just gonna say, "Oh yeah, sorry, I almost forgot," and throw him a nightmare crystal.
Oh, he catches it, and he's like, "Ooh, this looks valuable. What is it?"
Ah, it's a cool crystal. It's got fond memories in it. I gave one to one of your guys earlier.
Oh
As
yeah.
well. Yeah.
No, that's good. We're tasked with collecting memories. I've never seen them in this form before. Usually we put them in like a jug. I've never seen them
it's
like solid.
It's a very special thing from my plane. So figured you might like something different like that. Give it a go.
Absolutely. This will please the mistress greatly.
Here's hoping. Anyway, we'll be on our way, I guess. Thank you for your hospitality.
You all stand up.
Yeah, we're leaving.
Pauly?
Always watching his shit, just like this whole time. Like
Yeah,
he's watching his shit, like literally, like he's feeling every part of his body at the same time, and then the weight of everything on him. He doesn't like being out thieved.
Yeah. Give me a perception check, because as you go to leave, as he goes like usher you out, he does the whole like, hand on your arm to like lead you out the right way.
I would rather like instead, like, just because I could imagine
Sure.
this being a thing, I don't want him to fucking touch me.
Yeah.
So it'd be like one of those things. He'd go for the hand out, and then I'd be like ducking out of the way. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
maybe he's going for a handshake, and I'm like, oh, it's this whole little game of like, him trying to touch me and me trying to dodge him.
Give me an acrobatics check here.
18.
18.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's a bit. He gets very close. But you're able to, like, you do the, like, he goes for the arm around, like your waist just like ditches out of the way, and you're able to stop. Yeah. And he's not overt about it or anything in terms of like he's trying to take something. But you've seen these moves before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've spent time on the streets of Waterdeep or wherever where pickpockets lurk.
Mm-hmm.
And you avoid all the usual traps, and get out having very conscious of everything on you is still there.
Yeah, the whole time. That's why Pauly didn't say shit.
He's too focused.
He's just watching.
Very good.
So good.
Cool. All right, you're back in the swamps, having sort of at the base of this large tree. Where are we? Let's move you up here.
can't believe you cut down such a big tree.
Yeah.
2 seconds.
Is it like obvious? Like, was it like a big saw, or did he? Is there any kind of? Can we see the impact of how it was?
It looks pretty cleanly cut through. There's some edges on the side where it's obviously like gotten and then like snapped.
Yeah.
But it looks relatively clean. Like the surface you're standing on, it's not necessarily completely flat. There is some gradient and some, maybe people had multiple goes at it kind of thing. But it definitely looks like it wasn't done with just regular axes.
Cool.
See why this. All right. Let's go to Hither. All right. So you've been given a general direction, Sorn. But as you step out into the fog embanked areas of Hither, the maze of walkways leading in all directions, I'm going to need you to make a survival check.
Here we go. I'm gonna guidance myself as well. Yeah. Well.
With confidence, you think you've remembered the direction, and set off across the boardwalk through the maze of sort of dock areas, leading the party to what you're pretty sure would be northwest if real space and dimensions worked properly in this place.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say, yep, this is the way. I'm pretty sure, 90% sure. I don't know, but we should probably go.
All right. Any chats with each other or anything like that as you're walking through, or is this just what's the mood?
I'm gonna just fill everyone in on that. I just gave over another of the nightmare crystals.
Yeah, good. He was a dick.
Yeah. Figured if anyone needed to be taken down a notch.
I reckon we'll have to fight him eventually. That's gonna be.
I mean, there's probably a very good chance of that, considering I've just given him nightmares.
It's not about the nightmares. It's my pride. I need to kill him.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm down with that.
Yama, can I have this one? Like, is that okay? Like, I'm gonna murder that guy.
I don't know. You seem pretty nice, at least
No,
to me.
no, he's a real dick. He stole my shit. I do the stealing.
I just don't think I could handle killing anybody who we've shared tea with.
That's okay. I can handle it.
But,
All right, fine. Fine. If he comes at us, I can kill him then, right?
Well, yes, definitely.
If he
I'd
steals
really-
something from one of us, I can kill him then, right?
I don't know about that. I think it would depend on the significance. If he's
Horribly
stealing a laugh,
maim.
then definitely. What? Horribly maim.
Someone's gonna like pat his pockets and be like, "Oh no, my childhood ring is gone," and look at Pauly and wink.
Someone I
Wait,
never
that
heard you mention
childhood
a
ring
childhood ring.
that childhood ring that we talked about so much before.
Yeah.
Before
the
Yama
captain
came to
knows
the
about
party.
this.
Oh,
I
yeah,
never heard
Captain-
of this.
The captain knows about this. We've had conversations about it. I hold it very near and dear to my heart. And I'm just like, I'm standing behind Yama like this.
And Yama's like, oh, I thought we were friends.
Well, anyway, you should check all your shit. He had very fast fingers.
What do you mean check all
Pauly's
of
just
our
like
shit?
drinking like just like frequently. Got this bullshit fucking.
Yeah, Yama, check your butt. Like that guy, he was quick.
Check my butt.
Um,
Okay, so
yeah.
Yama's just gonna like pat his pockets under the advisement, I guess, of his team.
Yeah, I mean everything's there.
Okay, cool. Great. Well, I just don't think he's a bad guy, guys. He's definitely not taking anything from me, and if anything, I've walked out of here with some extra tea, so
And
Yeah.
you've run out of some of your own tea, though.
and I'm pretty sad about that. That was quite nice.
Well,
But it's always nice to try new things.
All I'm saying is he's shifty, so maybe the slackjaw lady's shifty too. All right.
Well,
the
she
Slackjaw
definitely
lady is a
sounded
hag.
she definitely
But she's-
sounded like she ruled with an iron fist.
And a slack jaw. She's a hag, as far as I know. But like,
Oh,
we were
so-
told by like the other guy that we should look for. I thought the name of the person we were looking for in Downfall was Bavlorna, but I didn't want to mention Bavlorna in front of that guy. It might be Bavlorna Slackjaw. I don't know.
Oh, Bavlorna was definitely mentioned to us by that knight, right?
Yeah, the guy that I accidentally tried to give an iron dagger to, which is not good for his kind. But anyway, I'm really off my game lately, guys.
Mm-mm-mm.
All good. Well, you're having this conversation as you're traveling along. The sucking sounds of the mud, the croaking sounds of frogs, and the buzzing of insects continues to fill the air. Sort of the chirping of crickets, and eventually it leads you to you end up having to commandeer a raft to kind of get away from the stump proper. With Sorn's excellent survival checks, you're navigating some of these smaller rivers that look like they occasionally flood overflow and flood parts of this swamp. Until you're cruising down one of these streams, and thick fog hangs heavy in the air, obscuring the area around you, so that the world appears
With enough ale, maybe they can be inured against the horrors below.
The world appears to have shrunk to only 20 feet in all directions. Before you, the waterway widens and the current slows, giving you the impression that you have entered a lake. Croaking voices penetrate the fog, through which dark shapes appear, resolving into two rowboats. Manning the oars of each rowboat are two bullywogs.
What do these bullywogs look like?
So curious about what a bullywog
What a
is.
bullywog is? Yeah. Where are we? Downfall. A bullywog is a humanoid creature, but his sort of top half is I need to zoom in here. His top half is that of a frog. So big eyes on the top of his head, green skin, and can I show this? I'll see if I can pull up an image in a moment. But they've got little froggy legs that they stand on. They're wearing sort of leather or sort of a combination of maybe sort of cloth and leather clothes. With just a belt, no real pants situation. It's a bit of a Winnie the Pooh kind of scenario. And they appear to be on these boats just fishing. With spears, just sort of driving them into the water and occasionally pulling out small fish and bugs. Let's see if I can find. How can I share this picture? I don't know. You're just gonna have to use your mind's eye. In fact, you should be able
What do you mean?
Yeah, I know.
That looks ridiculous.
This isn't why I play D&D,
That's
to
right.
use my
I don't want to use
brain.
my imagination. I just
So
googled a
all of you
bullywog
on
and
your
it's
little
wild.
all of you on your little raft, you can see the bullywogs ahead of you there in the river as you're slowly meandering towards them on this sort of wicker raft you've commandeered. Do any of you speak Sylvan?
New.
No.
In a language you don't understand.
Oh no.
One of them looks at you, raising his spear in the air, and calls out something to you.
Oh yeah.
How menacing is this spear raise?
Yeah,
Give me
can
an
we
insight
like
check.
insight? Dope. Oh, all the sevens.
Oh yeah, I'll insight as well. I was just checking if I had a. Oh, well, never mind. I was checking if I had a scroll of like comprehend language or something. I don't.
Yeah,
It's up to you. I think it's to all of you. It's probably up to you to interpret what this is. Yama, you probably have a better idea that it's maybe not. It's not super hostile, but you're maybe unsure of the customs around here.
I will just. I want to just mage hand them over a quill with ink on it and a piece of paper.
But why would they write in anything other than Sylvan?
I can read every language.
Oh, okay. So I guess Yama is just gonna like, as that's happening, just maybe put his hands out, like, well, let's see what they want.
I'm gonna put my hands on my hip for a quick draw if I need to.
Cool. You float over the quill and pen. One of them grabs it and they look at it, and you can see as you're slowly getting closer and closer, you can see that this frog man's hands are incredibly moist, and the paper rapidly starts to disintegrate in his sort of 3-digit slimy hand, and he kind of looks at the quill, which I assume is like one of those feather quill pens. You didn't give him your good fountain pen.
No, it's just a feather. Like I plucked the feather off of Pauly. Just sent it over.
And they all kind of look at it and they turn to each other and they're like, and then as you float close, one of them pulls out something out of some sort of pouch, almost like a spog pouch around his waist, and tosses it to you, Sorn. And there's a lot of like happy.
All right, I'll look in the pouch.
He picked it up and threw it at you, or threw it to you. Not the pouch. He pulled something out of the pouch to throw to you.
Oh, I'll catch that.
Yeah. You catch it, and when you look in your hand, it appears to be a slimy river stone that just like has a hole in the middle.
Oh, look through it.
I'll hold it up to my ear.
You don't hear anything special. It's a stone with a hole in it.
Yeah. So I can't detect anything from it at all. Like there's nothing.
No, I mean it kind of looks nice. You could put it on a necklace, or like something. It's just a bit, it's a cool feature of nature that this.
Yeah. Well, I smile and I say in common, "Thank you, my friend. I will cherish this always."
Can I throw them a stick?
You throw a stick at them?
No, like not at them, but like to them, like a toss.
Okay, they catch it. look at each other, and they're like, and they use it to point to the left bank, and where you can see sort of through the trees and a little bit past them, there appears to be a set of a docks area, like a docking area for these little rowboats.
Ooh, that's good.
As you get closer, as you go past them, they don't stop you or anything. You kind of just float by. They watch you go, letting out small croaks as you pass. One of them, is still kind of fishing, doing his thing. In the center of the lake, you see what appears to be a large 3-story house on stilts, which you can see on the map as sort of just the ramp. But I imagine that there is a house in the middle of that, rising up out of the
The
rising up out of
vision's
the lake.
quite tight, and I can't see anything.
Okay, well, that's probably because of the fog.
Fog, yeah.
You see something looming out of the fog, Yama.
Oh no.
I think Sorn, you probably have a better handle seeing it because your vision is more infrared based. So you can kind of make out these shapes a lot easier through the fog. And Pauly, you probably have a slightly better view than Yama with your goggles, though there is a lot of interference from the fog. There is a northern bank with what looks like a dock area with a small, almost like a checkpoint or a tower. Beyond that, a large, what appears to be a large balloon, similar to the one you saw crash, is tied down over here. To the south is another tower, and sort of beyond that, you can't really see. You can't really see much further. What do you do?
Well, let's go aboard. Everyone up for that?
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Visit? Yeah, sweet.
Which direction are you going?
Up north towards the docks.
So you make your way towards the docks. You see, as you get closer, looming above this ramshackle wooden pier is a balloon anchored by 4 thick ropes tied around wooden posts driven deep into the mire. The balloon's bladder expands and sags at regular intervals as swamp gas fills it briefly before leaking out through various tears in its patchwork fabric. A bullywug stands near the top of a ladder and is using a long silver needle and a spool of catgut to sew up one of the openings. A second bullywug stands at the foot of the ladder to steady it. Huddled nearby are 3 giant frogs whose long tongues snap up passing insects.
Amazing. What do we see? Do people let us get off and park our
They don't seem to be stopped. They all kind of turn to watch you, but they're certainly not trying to stop you.
Someone's playing a banjo in the background.
That's it. From your vantage point, Pauly and Yama, or specifically Pauly, you can probably just make out what appears to be sort of a landing or decking area. Another pier sort of in the center of the
other side.
of the lake.
Yeah, okay, right.
And then behind, looming out of the fog appears to be a large building behind that.
I might go for a little flight just to see, like, to scope things out.
Mm-hmm.
Just like halfway across this lake part.
Yep.
And that's it. Just to have a little squiz.
Sure thing.
I can't move my character, but yes.
Oh, does it not let you move?
We're in combat still.
Oh, really? That's... Really? Strange. How about now?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let me...
Oh, I am colliding with a wall.
Oh, yeah, I think there's a wall here because... Let me... Stupid
flying characters making it difficult.
I know. You fly through the fog until the thing kind of looms up in front of you. How high up are you off the
Off the water?
Yeah.
Probably like 25 feet.
Mhm.
Yeah, 25 feet, I'd say.
What looms out of the fog first is a balcony and a building.
Ooh.
And this building is 3 stories high. There are windows to the either side of the door of this balcony. Just beyond, you can make out what appears to be some sort of dining room.
Right. How many floors were there again, sorry?
3 floors, it looks like. So you
And
seem to be in the middle. You're at the second
Right.
floor.
Do I see anything through the window?
You can make out a dining room and a couple of doors leading to other parts of this.
Yep.
Other
Alright,
parts
I'll
of this
float
house.
up to the next floor, and if I don't see anything there, I'm going to go back to the crew.
Float up, do you say?
Yep, that's correct.
You find another window looking into what appears to be some sort of bedroom. Inside, you do see... actually, give me a perception check as you kind of fly by here.
23.
23. So you can see as you kind of swoop back and forth and kind of float a little bit to get a good angle. There is a ball of light bobbing around in the rafters of this room, casting shadows. You can see that whoever owns this bedroom is incredibly messy. There, rags on the floor, food scraps, stacks of dirty dishes, tipped over clay pots whose plants have long since died. You can make out a bed occupying one corner of the room that has a pile of straw in place of a mattress. And in the opposite corner stands a squat chest of drawers with a watering can resting atop it. The only other furnishings of note is a stocky wooden chest with a sturdy iron padlock. It sits in another corner between 2 closed doors.
All right.
You can make out from your window that there is a balcony door
Over this
as
side?
well. Yeah.
Right. Okay, I am still going to go back to the crew because it's not a great idea to do that for too long.
Okay.
But I just want to first look at this cat image. 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, all good.
Yep. All right, let's go back to the crew.
Little patchwork kitty.
You swoop back. What do you tell the crew?
Just that there's a really messy person in that place over there, and that may be where Slackjaw lives.
Messy
Mm.
person.
Let's I believe. Do I know much about hags?
Excellent question. Maybe give
Being
me
a magical
an Arcana
being
check,
and all.
give me an Arcana check.
All right, I'm gonna scratch my head and guidance myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
It's not bad. You know a fair bit about hags. What does Dylan know about hags?
Dylan doesn't know much about hags. Dylan just knows that hags are bad news bears.
Yeah. So Sorn, you probably have heard stories about hags. They don't necessarily make problems for the Underdark. They are usually incredibly powerful spellcasters. And typically the priestesses and mages of the Drow cities kind of are too powerful for them to really deal with. They're usually found out on the fringes, out in the kind of lost areas, where they make their own domains. They're almost always incredibly cruel and evil, though that's probably a spectrum where you came from.
Yeah.
Sometimes they resemble or often there's stories about them being resembling withered crones, and working with their sisters or their mother or their daughter or daughters. There's usually some kind of sorority thing where they work with other hags, if only begrudgingly. Almost all of them deal in usually dark bargains, much like a fae, but there's instead of just being where fae kind of maybe just don't understand truly what you want and will give you like the word, the thing to the letter, and a fae bargain might fuck you over because the fae just doesn't know any better. Hags almost always try and twist it.
Well, I do it. Sorry.
So we know this one, Bavlorna, has 2 sisters.
Mhm.
But we know that she hates them.
Do we know that hags? Do we know if hags are messy creatures?
Most of the time, probably. Though they do deal in illusions. Often, yeah, the hags you've heard of are always, often sort of the old woman in a hut in the middle of the Underdark who may look like a dark elven elder, but usually underneath that illusion or underneath that exterior is a creature of chaos and disorganization. Sure.
Well, I'll let Pauly know. I'll be like, well, from what I know, they are very good at manipulating their surroundings. So I don't know why they would live in a messy house. I feel like they would make it look nice. I feel
Maybe
like
I saw through the veil.
king. I feel like this is the king's house.
Right. Well, I reckon we go up there anyway.
Yeah, let's just go knock on the door and see what happens, I guess.
Yeah.
Either way, we were planning on introducing ourselves to the king.
Hmm.
Correct?
Cool. So you get on the boat, back on the
Well,
boat,
can
and
we
go
go
across?
around?
Yeah,
Can we
2
get around there?
Yeah.
By foot? I think
Climb
it'd be
the
cool.
rope.
Oh, so on your flight, you did have to avoid what looked like washing lines that were affixed to parts of the building. But there appears to be no land bridge to that place.
Okay. Well, let's go over there.
All right. You usher everyone back on the little skiff. Diana was, mid-conversation with one of the, or attempting to be mid-conversation with one of the bullywogs. Neither of them understand each other. But he's kind of croaking at her and,
He's
and
neighing back.
kind of pointing at her wings. And she's kind of nervously laughing. And then is happy to be spirited away from this conversation.
Awesome.
All right. Well, let's go across there. Let's do it.
Cool. You move across to the landing at the base of this building. And where are we? Cool. 4 flights of wooden steps rise out of the swamp,
With enough ale,
ending at a
maybe they can be
trapdoor
inured against the horrors
in the
below.
underside of the cottage, which is perched atop tall, thick wooden stilts and surrounded by dense fog. Where are we here? Yep. You can kind of just make out in the thick fog, sort of the clotheslines above you. They have some of them have cloth or maybe flags sort of draped down off them. And this massive wooden edifice built on stilts. You see a well in the floor of it, and as you go in, there's the steps that lead up to the outside, sort of what appears to be some kind of balcony, or of course, or as you get closer, there's sort of a ramp that sort of almost leads down as into the center itself, where the well is. What access point would you like to try and take?
Maybe, well, is the plan to announce ourselves or to sneak?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we just announce ourselves at this point. We haven't really been sneaky this whole time.
I'll just knock on the door.
Yeah, let's go in the most used.
Cool. You make your way up. You knock on the trapdoor at the base of the at the base of the thing, and you, hearing nothing, are able to push it open and let yourselves in. From this vantage point, though, I think Diana, who can't really climb up through a trapdoor, is going to stay on the
Watch the boat.
watch the boat, stay on the boat.
Yep.
So look out.
Diana is El Divo,
El Divo.
the war horse from Road to El Dorado. Stays with the boat.
Lot looks at her and is like, are you okay? Are you going to be okay here? And she looks a bit nervous and a bit shy. She kind of seems to be, you see her arms are on she's sort of crossed her arms as if she's cold. None of you kind of sense any particular coolness in the air. But Lot kind of settles her and then climbs up through the trapdoor with you.
Sweet. Ooh.
So you find yourselves in an area. There's actually a pool that has been created inside, and there's a pool of water inside the cottage.
Ooh.
The well you saw seemingly reaches all the way up and has its own well here, where it maybe draws water from to keep this pool lined. The recessed pool lined with moldy clay tiles takes up most of this large square room. The stagnant water fills the depression. It's only about a foot deep, but rising from the pool's center is the head of a stone well that gives off an unpleasant, pungent odor. In one corner of the pool stands a tall, dirty, freestanding mirror in an oval frame, and floating on the water is a large lily pad. Creaky wooden floorboards are arranged in a 10-foot wide raised walkway around the pool, which is what you're standing on now. The walkway is crowded with shelves, tables, and stools in all shapes and styles. Almost every available surface is littered with stacks of dirty plates, scraps of food, and old junk. Dressing dummies are pushed together in one corner, and a wooden staircase spirals up from another corner. 5 closed doors lead from the room.
Nice. Well, could it be that the mess is the illusion? Are we missing something? Or do you really think this is the king's palace?
I'm not
Well,
sure.
the king's meant to be a frog man, so
It does seem froggy.
yeah.
I'm gonna
the
just
pool in the
yell out,
middle of the
"Hello!"
room seems like it makes sense.
Anyone here?
There's no response.
Hmm.
What
Well,
are those mannequins in the corner?
Is it creepy?
Do you head over there?
Yes.
Okay. So you walk over, and there are 7 humanoid-shaped dressing dummies standing in the corner. 4 of them medium size, 3 of them small size. 6 of them are adorned with sort of shoddy home-stitched garments, except for one of them. One of them is bare, except for an ugly black pointed hat on its head.
Oh my god, you should take the hat.
Just I'm gonna wait. Can I? I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire on. I'm just gonna ask everyone, what do you think? Like, something seems off here, but like I can cast this, but I can't really move it around once it's cast. But if there's anyone that's like invisible in there,
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're
they'll
telling
show
this to the
up.
team.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
telling the
awesome.
party.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like where, like this is all into their minds. Like I'm not saying this out loud,
Mhm.
just in case there is someone invisible spying on us. But I'm gonna be like, where do you think someone would hide if they were in here?
Sorry, everyone's chatting to someone in chat.
Yeah, we didn't want to be rude. I just saw he was like, oh, I was like, oh crap, I better say something.
I don't think I could put links in the chat.
All right, I'll try and figure that out while you reply to Dylan, because he's in the zone here.
Can't break Dylan's zone.
Do you remember what he asked? Do you want to ask them
No.
again, Dylan?
I'll ask again. I'll run it back. All right. In their minds, they hear, hey, I can cast Fairy Fire, which basically will let me see if there's anyone invisible within the area that I cast it. But I can't move it once it's been cast, so
Well, I don't
where
think we have
should
any
I
reason.
cast it?
I just don't think we have any reason to yet. There is already, as we can see, 5 doors leading out of this room, so doesn't it seem like a waste?
How many of the mannequins were there again, Dan?
7.
7 mannequins, 5 doors. One mannequin's dress is missing its clothes except for its hat.
Yep.
I don't understand why. I feel like this is the frog guy's house because of the pool, but why would a frog guy have human-shaped mannequins, not frogman-shaped mannequins? So I feel like we may have walked into something we probably shouldn't have. I feel like this is the hag's house.
I'm so torn about whether it's the king or whether it's the hag.
Maybe the hag
Maybe
is
they're
the
both.
king.
Maybe they're both.
Yeah, the hag can disguise herself at will. I'm just gonna cast Fairy Fire. I'm gonna try and get the mannequins on that mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe from here to just above Pauly.
Yep.
Is my Fairy Fire.
So what do they have to do? A dex save.
Mm-hmm.
And Fairy Fire settles on things, but then
It's a
actually
20
stays on creatures, right?
Yes, and it's a 20-foot cube.
20-foot cube. Okay.
DC of 16.
16. Okay. The fairy lights fly out and dust settle down on that 20-foot cube of the room. The lights that sort of settle on the water blink and then go out. Though the lights on the mannequins, whilst when they settle and go out, not all of them do. The ones on the witch's hat settle and stay.
Ooh.
I'm gonna just Pauly's gonna hear in his mind very sharply, get back from the hat.
Pauly shoots the hat.
Yes.
All right. I think you have advantage thanks to Fairy Fire. And before you do that, though, can I get an initiative roll to see how quickly you draw and fire?
Ooh, not great. 13.
It's still faster. So as you draw the gun, you hear a screech as the hat seems to develop almost wings and tentacles of its own. It's almost like a flying squid creature. As you draw the pistol and take your shot.
Ooh, 15 to hit.
Yep, 15 will hit.
Neither of those rolls were good. Boom. Big boys. 35 damage.
Yeah, so this thing leaps off the head of the mannequin. This sort of flying squid monstrosity. You can now see it's not a black pointy witch's hat. That is sort of the pointed head of the squid. Its eyes kind of open up to yellow orbs as it flies across to try and leap at your head. But you're able to duck out of the way and bang, the loud rapport of the pistol shrimp, and it just splats into all corners of the room.
All right, don't go putting on any hats, guys.
Yeah, I don't think I want a hat from a soggy house. But anyway, do I hear a commotion around us in any of the doorways after Pauly just literally set off a firearm in their living room?
No, I set off a squid arm, okay?
Yeah,
Shrimp arm.
A shrimp arm.
Shrimp arm.
Shrimp arm.
Give me a perception check.
Perceptione.
I'm jumping in on that.
The one time I definitely should have guidance to myself.
From your position, Sorn, maybe your ears are still ringing from the shot. Yama, you hear though a loud from the balcony out to your south. You look out and you notice it's just lined with tiny frogs, and they're all croaking loudly.
Oh, are they like watching in towards us?
They're just standing around croaking, but they definitely weren't before.
Oh, okay. Guys, we have an audience out on the balcony.
What kind of audience?
Frogs, it looks like. They don't seem to be paying us too much mind, but I definitely didn't notice them there before.
Hey,
Yes.
remember that comment that Agnon said about you, Storm?
No.
You have tiny feet. How about you prove him wrong and start squishing some frogs with me?
Why would I stand on a frog? I can just burn the house down.
Think about how enjoyable it'll be once you squish all these frogs.
You look
open the
outside the
front door.
balcony. The 10-foot balcony runs pretty much the length of the cottage, and it's just covered end to end with frogs.
Like literally covered?
That's
I
wild.
closed the door again. I'm like, no.
You like
Nah.
look at it and then like, nope. Hot pass.
Actually, they could be bullywog babies. That's probably not a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine, we
Don't
won't.
step on the children.
Pauly puts away his frog stomping boots.
I'm just imagining the gumboots from Banjo-Kazooie.
Yes.
Or
Yes,
Banjo-Tooie.
absolutely correct.
Is there anything else going on here? Should we listen at some of the doors?
Yeah, I'll go back
Anything
over to
going
that door that was near the mannequins.
on? Listen
yeah.
first.
I look, Pauly is very bad for that.
This is Yama saying, listen first.
As he opens the door.
You see scraps of cloth and bundles of yarn are piled throughout this small room. This appears to be some kind of fabric storage closet.
Anything nice? Anything shiny, I should probably say.
Give me an investigation check.
Sure. Should probably have a higher investigation, but 18.
18. So you look through. There's amongst it's mostly strips of cloth. Like these are clothes it looks like that have been cut into squares and strips to be used to re-sew new outfits, patchwork style. But you do find 2 sort of 1 foot tall pincushions sewn into human shapes. One of the pincushions is mounted on a tiny wooden rocking horse, and the other has a pair of wooden wings.
I will take both of them.
Mhm.
Do they have pins in them already?
Yeah.
A lot?
Like a pin cushion, like they're storing pins.
Ah, right, okay. I will take both of them.
Okay.
1 foot each, you said, right?
There's one is a figure mounted on a tiny wooden rocking horse, and the other figure has a pair of wooden wings.
Right.
And they're sort of like little they're little sacks that have been, it looks like, they must have been stuffed with cloth or other material.
Right, yeah.
And stitched as these little almost figurines.
Can I ask Pauly can I please have a look at the rocking horse one?
Sure.
And can I make an Arcana check on that, please?
What are you trying to figure out?
If it has anything magical about it at all.
Okay.
Really? A 9?
A 9? You don't feel any particular magic from this figurine. You do, as you extend your senses out, though, you do certainly sense, in general, that there is magic about this place, for sure.
What happens if I want to just look down through the trap door?
I'll give Sorn the pin cushions because he's definitely more intrigued in them. I was just taking them because they were unique.
Curious.
I had no other reasoning or need for them other than I wanted them.
I just want the one with the rocking horse one. I'm gonna look down the trap door at Cloppington. I'm gonna pull a needle out. Does anything happen?
Also, Katie, why are you giving Dan inspiration? Huh? You trying to get us killed?
I had a lot of points. I just looked at my channel points and I was like, they're too high, so maybe he'll go lenient on me next time there's a frog invasion.
Hey Dan.
Yeah.
One please. 1 second. I'd rather that. I'd rather 10 of those.
You want the dad joke? Yeah.
Yes.
I had some of these ready. We just haven't. Okay. This is for you, Pauly. What is a rogue's favorite medium armor?
What?
Hide.
That's really good. Thank you.
There's no change in our fine hoofed friend.
No.
I'm
that
just
was
gonna
good interlude.
Hide.
I'm gonna just put them in my backpack.
Cool.
Can I open this door that I'm standing in front of? Can I listen at this door?
Yeah, you put your ear up to it. You see. You don't really hear anything.
All right, Captain, I'm opening this one. Let's see. Ooh, stairs.
There's a sort of a balcony out here with stairs leading up.
Oh.
All right.
And as you can see from this vantage point, you can't see it on the map, but it leads up to another door that seems to enter back into the building.
Cool.
All right. Well, you did mention there were 3 levels, correct, Captain?
That is correct. Yes.
Well,
before you do that, dude.
This door.
Yes, always loot the hag house. That's always a good idea, guys.
Yeah.
Definitely want to open all the doors before going up another level.
If that's the plan.
Inside this door, you see a large cupboard stands alone in this dark room. Fine scrollwork frames the cupboard's two doors, which are bridged by a circular panel of dark wood. The panel is inlaid with a silver hourglass sigil.
Have a care, Captain.
Yeah, can I check out the traps? This looks a bit nicer.
Give me an investigation check.
And I'm sussing two over your shoulder.
12.
12.
13.
You're relatively confident that you can manipulate this safely.
That sounds very ominous, but let's go for it. Let's open it. Let's open it.
All right. How do you open it?
Is there a lock?
Nope.
No lock?
It doesn't open.
Ooh.
There appears to be a lock mechanism, but there's no keyhole that you can ascertain.
Oh, okay. So this, like, so what's a sigil thing then? Right.
So you see, that is an hourglass.
Yep.
And sort of a circular panel on the dark wood. The panel, it looks like you can rotate the panel.
Right. Then I will rotate the panel.
All right. You turn the hourglass upside down, and you hear a click, and the cupboard doors open. Inside is it's divided into rows of small compartments, almost like those those square things you get from IKEA. Each one is stuffed with pouches or other tiny containers. Yeah, so lots of little pouches in this cupboard on these shelves.
Morning, can you get this whole cupboard into your sleeve?
No, but I could probably break into it.
No,
By
I want
break
the
into
whole
it. I
cupboard.
mean physically break it.
Oh, he's got it open.
I got it open. No, I'm just saying I want the whole cupboard because I like the little sigil lock thing.
I mean, we could try.
Pauly grabs Sorn's sleeve and just tried to put it over one corner of the cupboard.
Everyone's holding one side of the sleeve.
Don't pull the sleeve like that. You'll damage it. You got to let it do its thing. Just everyone back off.
Actually, and just puts the hand over it.
I'm just like, everyone back off and give me a moment.
So yeah, each of these little compartments, like cubby holes, or these little pouches or tiny containers. One of them you see is like a teacup-sized ceramic cauldron with a lid. So almost like a sugar crock pot.
Cute.
Yeah.
Throw that to Yama.
Yeah, cute as he catches it.
Cool.
Interesting.
Do you look inside?
Yeah, I think he's like sniffing around for tea, herbal stuff, maybe using his knowledge in that area. Don't know.
You don't smell anything from this. You open it up and there's a little scrap of paper with the word spittle spew written on it in common.
Oh, okay. Does spittle spew mean anything to any of you guys? Spittle spew.
No, but I've had a couple of spittle spews.
Too many late nights drinking and partying, huh, Captain?
Yep.
That's right.
Does that mean anything to Sorn?
It's usually the night, like the morning after that the spittle spew happens. You know.
Okay.
Sometimes before you go to bed as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't seem to mean anything to you.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I got no clue. Doesn't mean anything to me, I guess. But I can try and get this cupboard.
You, with your nose, Yama, you are smelling. There are in your search for justice and or tea, you do come across in one of the little cubby holes is a little bag, or a little almost like a little notebook, just with a bunch of pressed flowers and loose dried petals in it.
Okay.
Not specifically tea related.
Yeah, but just herbal.
Yeah.
Natural.
And
Yeah, cool.
You open a couple more, like a little box has all sorts of different shaped cutlery from clearly different sets in there. You open a tin that looks like a biscuit tin, but inside is just like loose buttons of various shapes, colors, and materials.
It seems like a very interesting person lives here, perhaps along the level of the Harangan we just left behind. A hoarder.
So insane.
One man's trash, another man's treasure.
I mean, Pauly does like buttons.
Can we
Sorn's
meet
just
him?
gonna make his way over to the other door and kick it open.
I
Alright.
take the buttons.
Take the buttons.
Sorn doesn't like the look of this room.
I didn't
Yeah,
record.
so when you kick open this room, and instantly the first thing you see is a horse's head leering at you with glossy eyes, its lips drawn back from pointed yellow teeth. The head is affixed to a large 8-limbed armature made of wicker and wire, situated so that it faces the doorway where you entered. Near it is a wooden crate. Flies buzz about this disordered room, landing occasionally on animal carcasses that lie strewn in small piles. On a low table rests an assortment of tools, saws, knives, scrapers, a hand-cranked drill, sewing thread and needles, and several taxidermic subjects in various stages of completion. A shelf that looks on the verge of collapse leans against the wall between two windows and bears the weight of dozens of stuffed horrors. Each one is an artless combination of 2 or more animals.
Sick.
Anything magical in this room?
Give me an Arcana check.
Is the horse alive?
I'm gonna scratch at my head and guidance myself. Yep, well, that's going to be 23.
You definitely feel magic coming off the horse. With your background in this kind of thing, what you've dealt with before, you are certainly feeling cursed energy.
I ain't about that. So I'm just like, do I feel that this contraption is cursed, or it has a curse feel about it?
It has a cursed feel about it. You don't feel in danger from this thing, but you feel that this is maybe part of some kind of curse.
And with my knowledge of curses and how to remove them or influence them, would I feel that if I were to do something to this, it would perhaps put a step towards removing or ending a curse?
You think that with your excellent roll, and you seem to be piecing things together. Well, tell me your theory of what you think this is. And
Well, my theory is, judging by the house that we are in and the strange assortment of knickknacks and bits and pieces and the weird squid hat, and originally going in thinking it was a frogman's house, but then seeing humanoid mannequins with outfits on them, which is quite strange for a frog. I'm beginning to think that the Frog King may actually be also the hag. And knowing that hags curse people and we have a horse centaur friend that is currently cursed no more than, I'd say, 30 feet below us?
Mm-hmm.
And now there is a cursed object with a horse's head in front of me. So I'm thinking that there might be some form of link between the hag that potentially lives in this house, Cloppington that is below us, and this cursed figurine in front of us, and my blood pact that I made her sign.
Yeah, I would say that you can probably trust your instincts on this one.
I'm going to cast. Just gonna look back at everyone and say, just stay back for a moment. Maybe don't stand in the doorway. I don't know what could happen, but I'm going to do something. And I'm going to cast Remove Curse and just touch the head of the horse.
Mm-hmm. What does that look? What does your Remove Curse spell look like with your newfound powers?
It's still technically a divine spell, so it starts off like my normal bit of static electricity through the hands, but then as it consolidates at like the tip of my finger now instead of a whole hand, it just turns from like a really dull but somewhat like white bluish energy into like a inky black ball at the tip of my finger with stars in it.
Excellent. So stars, the stars kind of eke out from around this thing and settle around it in a swirling pattern. As you channel your divine energy into it and have to kind of press to find, you feel some resistance, but are able to kind of cut through that with this taxidermied horse head. It melts and sort of burns away off this armature, and its pieces kind of fall to the ground. And you hear a surprised scream/yelp from beneath the hatchway you guys climbed up of.
I'm going to make my way over to the hatchway and just look down.
You see a naked woman wearing only butterfly wings.
Okay, I'm going to reach into my sleeve quickly, and I'm going to pull out. I did have clothes. I had a set of clothes because I have like fine clothes, but I'm wearing my armor. So I'd like drop down my clothes, being an elf. I'm quite slender, so I'll drop my clothes down and be like, "These should fit."
And she kind of throw down I assume Sorn wears a lot of robes and like sort of flowing
it's
kind
like
of
a
stuff over the
long
top.
coat.
Yeah,
long coat and like just fitted, like tailored pants, but not like tailored, but like fitted pants.
And Diana, looking up at you from the walkway, the stairwell, she'd clocked up before. Now currently in just a pure human form, her skin returned to its natural state, no longer that sort of brown and white mottled horse color. She's looking at you kind of wide-eyed up through the aperture as you drop the cloak down on her. She puts it over puts it over herself, covering herself up. It sticks out in a weird angle because she's still wearing the butterfly wings. She hasn't taken them off, but like has just thrown the cloak over the top of it. So it's like she's wearing a backpack under a cloak. And she just says, you really did it. I didn't know what to believe, but you returned me to my normal body. And what about my horse? Is she up there?
Yeah. No. As hags are not, they're not very sentimental creatures. I did find a part of your horse, but it's gone. I had to magic that away to turn you back to normal.
That's fine. I guess it was my love for that horse that got me into this mess in the first place, and this time fused with it has certainly taught me that maybe I'll be better off not. Thank you so much, Sorn.
That's totally fine, but I wouldn't go wandering off in this place.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I can ask anything more of you, but do you mind, perhaps when you're done here, if you could take me back to the ship?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I don't want to sign anything though.
No more, no contracts, no contracts. That's okay. I brought you here. I have brought you here, and you've definitely proved proven yourself a hearty fighter. But I don't know if that was to do with your being cursed and half horse. Do you have any skills? Do you retain anything from that form, or?
Well, I mean, for now, I'm a little bit unsteady on my feet. I'm kind of not used to walking on two legs at the moment, so I think I'm just going to sit here for a bit. But
that's fine.
I mean, all the singing and stuff I was doing before, like that was me. I don't think my horse had any particular singing or music skills. But I mean, I don't blame you for thinking maybe it was the horse. I know you have some very interesting friends. So
you're right. I am interesting.
I mean, like that's perfectly fine.
I mean, I mean, if you just have to remove the curse that's made Pauly into a birdman before we go.
This is not a
I'll
curse.
be trying to remove that curse till the day I die.
Diana, this is not a curse. This is a gift.
Well, anyway, yeah. Just hang tight. Once we're done in this realm, we will return you back to the normal our plane of existence. If you wish to join us on the ship for any extended period of time, you're more than welcome to. I feel like we have formed some sort of friendly bond as allies. Not speaking just for myself, of course. I feel like you are a friend to the ship. You are a friend to La Floridita now.
Well,
so if you need somewhere to stay,
well, now that I can
have
actually
to work, but
now that I can actually visit other parts of the ship that require climbing, I feel like I would actually be a little bit more useful.
We could give you a room.
Yeah, and I could climb the rigging and stuff now. Once I figure out how legs work again. That sounds really lovely. Thank you.
I mean, with the singing,
good.
can you play any instruments?
Yeah, I have some training.
You're hired.
Thank you. She does hold up though the saddlebags that you had put on her that was carrying a bunch of stuff, and is like, I don't think I'll be able to carry this now though.
That's fair enough. Yeah, I'll just we'll figure that out. I'll pass them over here. And I don't think there was very much in the. Oh, the only thing that was actually on Diana was the silver.
Was the cage, the silver cage.
Just the bird cage. I'll just say, just keep that down with you.
Okay.
We don't really need that right now, I don't think, unless a hag is the size of that fairy knight guy, but I doubt that. So.
Isn't the cage
I don't
still
think I
locked
could
anyway?
make it that small.
The cage is still locked. Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. I'll stay down here.
Yep.
Thank you again.
Hold up.
Honestly, this means a lot.
Oh yeah.
I go back over to that. So yeah, I told you I'm good at what I do. I go back to the cursed room. I just want to have a quick sweep around. Is there anything else that was like cursed in here?
Nothing that you felt any curse energy from. As you kind of sweep around the room, you do see a crate with the name Bavlorna scrawled on one side of it. And you see obviously a work table that has sort of a bunch of tools and drawers and things like that. Small, one of those like little boxes with the little drawers.
So
And
with my Arcana of 23, was there anything else in the room that I noticed that could have been cursed, magical, or anything that would have stood out to a magical like look around?
Nope.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna come back out of the room and just say, well, there was a crate in there that has Bavlorna written on it, so I do believe that it may be Bavlorna Slackjaw. Yeah. So, what do we say? Which stairs should we take? There's that one over there, and I point across the room. Well, there's like, I assume these ones go up as well, right in front of me.
Yeah, like a spiral
Or
one.
or there's this internal spiral staircase. Like, which one do you guys think we'd take?
I think the sneaky stairs back here, over this side.
Yeah, I think approaching from the outside may give us some advantage, maybe.
Cool. Walk up the stairs, Pauly.
I'll wait for you guys to go up the stairs, and then I'll go up these ones at the same time.
Did it take you to the right spot? No, it didn't. I'm so sorry.
Are
I've clearly... Hold on, let me see if I can fix that.
Nope. Ooh.
It takes you to the wrong spot. Stop walking up my broken stairs.
Sorry.
I mean, mine take me to nowhere.
we being schnecky?
Yeah, we're being well. Maybe you lead on then, because I'm not. I can't be sneaky.
I could be schnecky. 23.
Were you taking the internal stairs where you saw one?
Mm-hmm.
Split the party. Love it.
With the
Well, I'm assuming they go to the same level, but I'm like, if there's anyone up there, they get sort of surprised because people are going to pop out from either side.
I like how Yama went through a different way.
But also, I got like a natty 18, well, an 18, an adjusted 18, and natty 20.
That's great though.
Stealth with disadvantage, so 18.
I'm not being stealthy at all. I'm just like stomping my way up these stairs.
Sure.
Boop, boop, boop.
Let me take you up, Sorn, seeing as it didn't teleport you up. Clearly I've broken it somehow. Alright, so there's a door. We'll go with Pauly and Yama first. Where did I put Yama? Where'd Yama
I'm
go?
here.
Oh, you're underneath Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I got the 2. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh my god.
So you open the door quietly.
Mm-hmm.
And in front of you is a kitchen. It's a gore-spattered kitchen. A stout figure with a stained apron, iron boots, and a crimson cap with a bloody meat cleaver chases a pair of vultures around a butcher's block while squawking birds fight over scraps of meat.
Alright, it's time to, does he look evil?
Does he look evil? Can we insight check him?
It's a she. I think I only had
she.
a male token, but it is
With enough ale,
imagine
maybe
that.
they can be inured against
But you
the
know,
horrors
less beard
below.
and more.
Yeah, okay. It's time for the birds to get their revenge. Before, I'm going to try and sneak up on him or her.
Yeah.
And just slit her throat. This is an evil
Sweet.
place. We know this.
Okay.
Yep. So like I'm imagining this. I mean, I haven't obviously attacked yet, but I'm just imagining this. Like about to like she's held down one of the turkeys, right? About to cut its head off, and then the turkey looks up pleadingly at the lady. And then looks
I was gonna say it's vultures. She's
Vultures.
chasing around. Yeah.
vultures. Like the vulture looks up pleadingly at the lady,
Mhm.
and then looks past the lady.
And she's got
And
this
then
big knife,
He's
and
not
yeah,
good.
Yes. Yeah,
she's-
it's about to.
the vulture looks from her in fear to you, and that triggers. In fact, actually, it doesn't even trigger this woman to turn to look at you, as I don't think you even need to roll here because she got a 1 on her. She got a natty 1 on her perception check.
Oh, really?
So I think you just hit here, but I'll let you fish for the crit if you want to.
Yes. 'Cause fishing for the crit is the fun part.
Yeah.
Oh, close. That's right. 26 though.
Yep, absolutely. Now, can you do enough damage to one-shot this person?
I mean, I can always hit twice. 29.
That definitely bloodies her, and she's massively caught off guard here as Talon skewers her in the small of her back. You have another attack?
Yes. 23 to hit.
Yep.
It's taking a second. I'm gonna try re-roll that damage.
Yep.
Just try. Yeah, 1 more damage. That's 9 damage.
How do you want to do this?
So I like how I feel like this happens all in one go. So like, she starts to bring down the sword, right? Talon parries the sword, and then slices her throat, not getting the whole way. So Pauly then brings in the dagger the other side and she goes cha 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 cha.
Yeah, so she drops
and
the knife.
severs her head clean.
But you've parried it to the side, so it clunks into the wooden floor, leaving a massive gouge in it. Her hands go limp, and the vulture wriggles out from under her grasp, flies up into the rafters. The other vultures in the room kind of settle or start sort of doing that thing where they hop over, but like on the beams above, like they're hopping over closer to above where the body is, but not approaching.
I'm gonna throw the severed head to the vulture in the rafters.
Oh yeah, they catch it, fight over it. It's a bit too heavy for them, but they tear strips off it as it flies up in the air, and then it lands back on the prep table here as the body kind of falls to the floor.
Right. I am going to look in a room. I'm going to look in one of the rooms to try and stow the rest of the body.
All right. You've been in kitchens before, I imagine. You can feel, I guess, and I think maybe some of these doors, one of these doors probably has like a window in it. You think that this door here is the freezer room.
Beautiful. I'm going to drag the body and then put it in here.
Okay.
And I just say that Yama is like helping, but he's like shook, like kind of like
He's not happy about it.
like. Well, he's not like unhappy. I think he's still a bit shell shocked. Like, wait, what?
Well, we know. Okay, I mean, like he's shell shocked. Like Yama. They cursed Diana. They're not good people, and they were about to kill a vulture. And I mean, look.
Some of my best cousins are vultures.
That's it.
Yeah, I like I get you. You just like you acted so fast. I feel like I'm having some flashbacks. We definitely need to clean this up. Nobody can see this.
I mean, I think there's blood everywhere anyway. So I'm going to stash this body in the freezer, put it in a corner, and then let the vultures eat the head.
Yep. Okay. Yep. I'm helping. That just happened. And
Sometimes murder's just that easy.
Yeah, you're pretty powerful. I'm glad I'm on your team.
I'm really hoping that like all of her children just come out of one of the rooms. You know what I mean? It's like, Mama,
is dinner ready?
Yama will be like, I'm your mama now.
then we have
adopting wayward children.
Then we have like a D&D like standalone where it's like a sitcom of like Yama raising some like 3 gnome children.
Doing his best to raise them right.
Yeah.
He's already failed with one son, so
Sorn just shows up every 4th episode to corrupt them.
Yeah,
like the fun uncle.
But in the second season, he's played by a different actor for some reason. Like the first one got into trouble.
First one was Yumi, and then it's Sorn.
Yeah.
No, it'll be Sorn, and then if anything happens, it'll be a completely different person.
Yeah.
Like, it won't even try to hide it. And the full Game of Thrones it with like that. What was that one
Just
character in Game of
jam them
Thrones?
in. Yeah.
Where they just like they changed him in the middle of the season.
Yeah, good.
And anything of note in this freezer?
Sure.
Yeah,
So,
is there
as I
anything
stash the body
other
somewhere.
than a turkey?
There were vultures, not turkeys.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. So
Uh,
is it just vultures in here?
yeah. Oh, there's meat and stuff like that. Yeah, that was being prepared, and it looks like vultures perhaps had gotten in through a window and were attempting to
latest.
get the food. This room is freezing. Pauly, chunks of frozen meat dangle from the ceiling on hooks and chains. Along the walls, more meat is stacked in piles on metal racks. A small frost-covered wooden coffer sits in the middle of the floor. And unlike regular cold, where it's the absence of heat, this is the opposite. Cold seems to be radiating from it.
From the coffer.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have like a latch?
It doesn't seem to have a lock or anything like that. It just has like a normal lid.
I'm gonna shove the body into there.
Okay. It appears to be frozen shut.
Okay.
So give me an athletics check.
17.
You with a grunt of strength that might even impress Yama, if Yama was 40 years younger. You're able to pry open the coffer. It's a bit small to fit an entire human or a headless body, especially because it's already got something in it. It appears to have a beating heart in it. That's just in there, just the thump.
Is it like a frozen heart?
No.
Well,
You think it needs the cold to survive? Could we take it?
I definitely want to take it.
I think Yama
There are
wants to
so
help
many
you with
pirate.
this one.
There are so many pirate stories about like beating hearts that it'd just be silly
Especially
to
in a
not take it.
chest.
Absolutely. Do I have anything I can put the heart into?
If not, Yama will offer maybe one of his lesser worn kimonos to hold it like a bag.
I've got a soul catching moonshine jar. Just look at my inventory.
Sure.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
I think it was the same time when I got that light. It was from the place where we went for Gangplank. You know what? Maybe like a lesser used kimono. Let's do that. Yeah, we can hobo sack it.
A bindle.
Yeah.
As you take the heart out and hold it in your hand, you can feel it still beating, despite it's not obviously not pushing blood anywhere. It's not bleeding or anything like that. But it seems to pulsate in your hand to a regular rhythm. As soon as you pull out of the chest, you feel sort of a shift, a change in the room. Cold is no longer emanating from the chest. The room is slowly, very slowly, like it's still everything in here is still mostly frozen. You can feel that whatever has been providing the cold is no longer.
Right.
So the room is thawing slowly.
Does it seem to be coming from the heart or just the chest in general?
The fact that the heart was in the chest?
The heart doesn't appear cold, doesn't feel cold in your hand at all.
Right. Okay. You know what? I'm going to give the beating heart to Yama because I shouldn't be trusted with anyone's heart because I'm a bad boy.
He's broken too many hearts.
And Pauly says that too.
Yama just like winks back at him and ties the heart to his belt strap.
Very cool. All right, let's cut over to
Even does the
Sorn.
finger guns.
Yeah, I think Yama's like, I'll hold on to your heart, Pauly, and gives him like a
You
nod.
always did.
Alright. I come out the top of the stairs, bearing in mind that I was stomping my way up the stairs.
Yep.
Because Sorn just had, for some reason, in his mind that both sets of stairs led to the same room.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I was trying to catch someone off, like, to throw, if anyone was up there, off guard, so that they would notice Sorn before they noticed anyone else.
Sure. You stumble up the stairs, and as you get to the top, you see a landing with this sort of hallway. The walls of this dank hallway are covered with scores of portraits. You look up and down the hallway, it appears they're depicting kind of grumpy, sad, frightened, and angry people. Humans, elves, halflings, bullywugs, goblins. The portraits are rendered in a variety of mediums, including paintings, etchings, and sketches. All of them are displayed in gaudy, gilded frames. You see, as you poke your head around the corner to see this display, one of the frames actually holds a 2 foot wide, 5 feet tall oval mirror on one of the walls. At the end of the corridor to the west, you actually see 2 doors. When you look to the east, you actually see a wall. Give me a... don't open that yet. Give me a perception check.
Perceptione. I'm once again going to scratch my head.
Yeah.
I'm glad I scratched my head. Well, that is an 8.
8. Yes, you do. Yeah, you see this. You see this door. It's actually blended in somewhat to the wall.
Well, I'm more interested in the mirror.
Sure.
Now, like, I'm gonna look at the portraits as well. I just want to do my magical eyes thing and just scan the room.
I just thought about this. You learned nothing from Christmas.
I was trying to. I told you. I did say Sorn's operating under the idea that the stairs both led to the same room, and he was trying to give you guys the jump.
I love it.
Mm.
I love
Trying
it.
to be helpful. We're in a different area.
You're just
Um,
a soft, squishy spellcaster.
That's what
Yeah, but I
what
can
spellcasters do.
I can just teleport out a window, to be fair. I'm scanning the room and looking for anything magical or anything that is affected by magic in this room.
I mean, you get a little bit of feedback in terms of this isn't a detect magic spell. So
No, I'm just making a Arcana
general,
check on,
yeah. I mean, yeah, you certainly think
if
there's
I feel
something
anything.
odd about this corridor, and sure, the mirror probably, you get a vibe from the mirror, but you don't really seem to know what.
I'm gonna just walk over to the mirror
Yeah.
and just like stare into the mirror for a minute.
What does your face look like? Describe to me.
Give me a moment. Let me just pull up my new fancy artwork. I just need to find it on my iPad. Where did it go? No, it's not on my iPad. It's somewhere else. Give me 1 second. It is... Yeah. All right. So, gray, gaunt features, like a dull gray skin, gaunt features with some long, flowing silver hair. I like to think that because I can't really commune with my patron in this plane of existence, because he needs to be invited in, or they need to be invited in, my normally inky black eye is not so inky black.
Mhm.
Like, it's like you can see the background of the eye. It's just like gray and dull and faded out. But like my pupil is still black. And then the same goes for the other eye. Instead of being all filled with electricity and everything, it's gray. But then the iris is like a crackling blue. But like not a very powerful looking storm in that eye, as it usually is.
And
Yeah.
what is the resting expression on Sorn's face? Does he have like resting arsehole face, or is he like constantly smirking and smiling? Is he angry? Like, what's
It's
the...
kind of just, yeah, it's just like a blank expression that some people would probably take for he's in a bit of a mood. That's just his normal resting face of just blank, like he's deep in thought.
Well, that is what you see looking back at you from the mirror.
Could I touch the mirror.
Yep.
Anything
Touch the
happen?
mirror. Your hands
Alright.
touch upon glass.
Okay. Well, I'm going to I want to spend a little bit of time and just take all of the portraits off the wall and just like turn them around and face them to the wall on the floor.
You attempt to remove them from the wall, but they seem to be stuck in place.
All right. Can I cast Firebolt on one of them?
If you want.
Yeah, I want to light one on fire.
Sure. I mean, there's all sorts of figures with all sorts of expressions. Which one do you choose?
Was there one of a very smug-looking Aarakocra?
Yes.
All right, done. That one.
You shoot a fireball at it, and the paint bubbles and burns once the fire and the fire starts sort of spreading, and it kind of peters out once it gets to the gilded frame, and you burn away the painting.
Cool. Normal
In the
painting.
other room, Pauly burns and dies.
Yama's like,
Pauly
"Nah."
immolates. Yeah, I'm like, okay. I'll make a mental note of that cool looking mirror, because if we are trying to get out of here later, I'm gonna take the mirror with us. We don't have a mirror on the ship, and like, how are we gonna take like cool squad photos without a cool mirror?
In the bar, in the bilges. You know?
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna hang it up somewhere. We'll hang it up directly in front of the captain's quarters door, so that Pauly's stuck inside, and we can all take cool photos.
Yeah.
That's the plan. Anyway, someone will like. I just want to see if I can move the mirror at all, or if it is like stuck, like the paintings were.
Stuck. There is no give to it whatsoever.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna make my way back down the hall towards this door, because like that's the sort of direction of where the other set of stairs were.
Yep.
For Sorn. And I'm just gonna. Yeah, Sorn doesn't feel any danger, so he's just gonna open the door.
Cool. You see, as the door creaks open loudly, two creatures having a conversation over tea in the middle of the room. The first figure is seated in a time-worn armchair. She's a tall, lean woman of grey complexion, dressed in black, with a wide-brimmed hat obscuring her eyes. The other figure is a toad-like creature with bulging eyes and cracked skin. It is clad in a shapeless garment and sits on one end of a love seat with its legs pulled up beneath it. Flies flit into and out of its mouth, which hangs agape when it isn't speaking. Two tiny versions of the creature cling to it like pets. The room is filthy. Dirty dishes and bits of discarded food lie everywhere. The furniture was perhaps once of fine quality, but now stains of mysterious origin mottle every surface. And the upholstery has been patched numerous times. Set with its back to the wall in one corner is a hulking wooden cabinet. Sturdy legs support the bottom of the cabinet 6 inches above the floor. A decrepit wooden staircase climbs up the wall in another corner. The toad-like creature turns its head to you and in a low, croaking voice. What act of depression compels you to enter my home, little darling?
I was gonna say, you wouldn't happen to be Bavlorna, would you?
Her mouth kind of agape sort of turns up slightly at the edges, but it's still like a big kind of O look on her face. And I'll see if I can find our dear friend here and what she looks like.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah, I didn't learn from Christmas.
That's wild.
The other figure in the room with you, Sorn, sort of turns. She's still kind of sipping. She's still got her tea in her lap, but turns to look at you. And where is she?
He's cool.
Oh, she?
And I think that's where we're going to end this week because it's 8:30.
Creepy as hell.
She's cool as fuck. Sorn really likes the other one. No matter how scary she is, she gives off the same scary vibe that Sorn thinks he gives off.
It's like small froggo things on the other creepy witch one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like these could both be hags, which is a lot worse than my initial thought. A lot worse.
Well, we'll just have to find out next week, won't we? As Sorn
Yep.
trapped all on his own.
In
Once
the
again.
next room.
Maybe that staircase took them to another dimension. We don't know.
This is true. This is very true. Or Sorn's in another dimension.
That's right. But no, thank you very much for what I think was another excellent session this week. There's no real combat, but I love the way a lot of exploration, a lot of handling things in very interesting ways.
Just some straight up Pauly murder. That's about it.
Yeah.
It's also, hey, I fulfilled my pact.
That's
You
true.
Absolutely did.
Yeah, that was very cool.
This is Dan dropping in me finishing off some of Sorn's quest lines before Sorn and
Sorn
dies.
dies.
And out of pure stupidity.
And then we get
That's
to
right.
see the new fun uncle.
The new fun uncle, if that happens, is, in my mind, very friendly. So he is a fun uncle.
That's what you said about Sorn originally too, I reckon.
No, he was wow. He was always going to be kind of messed up, to be fair. The new fun uncle looks really cool. I've got art for him already.
I don't even want to know any more about it. I don't want to be promised something that could have happen 7 seasons from now. So
This is true. The art will ever be changing.
but thank you for requesting D&D dad jokes in the chat. I know that was you, Timmy. I've got some DM inspiration going into next session, which is good. I love that. And I don't think Katie's back with us next week, but they might be back the week
I think
after.
There's one more week, yeah.
Yeah, one more week. So we'll find out what happened to Karu in a couple of weeks, and they might have to come and rescue the party. Who knows?
Definitely.
All right, we're going to call it there, and we'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Boy.